Well, several protests held across Northern California this week as both students and parents are standing up against mask mandates in school.
Tell me how you felt about this, how your classmates felt about it, and at what point did you say we've had it up to here?
Over time, it just took so long, and we've been told so many different things about when it's going to end, and nothing ever added up. And I feel once the teachers started getting on us more, we kind of had enough.
I mean, when Trump says we'll lose our country, that's not just to be quite honest, it's just gonna get so much worse. And a great analogy is that the world is made up of takers and makers. And if you get too many takers on this side, it won't balance. And Trump is a man who's a maker, and he empowers others to be makers.
There are very few political truths in America, but it's pretty common knowledge that a majority of young people are left-leaning. Because of this, the Democratic Party has a pretty tight grip on those under 30, and especially those under 20. This is such an acknowledged truth that we barely give any time or space to young Republicans, except the rare few who break into the mainstream like Charlie Kirk or Candace Owens. But with the rise of social media and the influence of the COVID pandemic on schools, there's a much larger and louder movement of young people on the right gaining traction. As you saw in the video, Lauren Pauly is one of those students who was part of a massive walkout over masking at her high school. And this wasn't in the Deep South or the Midwest, this was in California. And in New York, the New York Young Republican Club, one of the oldest groups of young Republicans in the country, had an unusual addition to its roster of right-wing endorsements. Viktor Orban, the ruthless Hungarian authoritarian president who has embraced xenophobic nationalist ideologies and who MSNBC reports essentially wants to pursue what can only be described as an autocratic white Christian ethno-state. So while we could pass off these events as insignificant, of course there have always been conservative young people, I think it's worth a deeper look into whether this is really a growing trend and if the left should be worried. It's pretty clear that the Democratic Party has become so enslaved to its corporate donors that its support is crumbling across the country, and it would be catastrophic if the party lost one of its strongest bases, young people. But this mask walkout in California isn't just a handful of kids, it's a lot of them. And while I disagree with getting rid of mask mandates just yet, this is an indication that perhaps young people no longer trust our overall pandemic strategy and feel lost and confused in a period of life that is just generally confusing. Additionally, with new political outlets catering to right-wingers like Newsmax and different social media platforms gaining traction, young people now have way more exposure to right-wing voices shouting insane conspiracy-laden takes, and it's getting hard to tell fact from fiction. And without a more coherent and supportive response from the left, who can blame them for falling prey to these loud voices? As the right gets more and more petty, now standing with literal foreign dictators to own the libs, more than ever, the Democrats need to bring more to the table for the young: material support, coherent plans for the future, and something to believe in. If not, we can only expect a mass defection, and a few of these examples are only starting to prove that that could very well be the reality. Thanks so much for watching. You can follow me on all platforms at Caro Johnson 917.